This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek a medical professional or healthcare provider if you're seeking any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, cool. Hello, podcasters.
Podcast listeners. We're the podcasters.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay.
She's sick, but she's with
I am
us.
sick, but I am still here.
She's with us, guys.
I may sound a little nasally, but it's okay.
Yeah. You're
I don't
forgiven.
think it's that bad.
Nah, I really don't think so.
All right.
So
My
this...
allergies are at an all-time high.
Well, yeah, I
Or
mean,
maybe I'm sick. I don't know.
spring is coming, and maybe you are sick. I mean, everybody's kind of sick these days.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we talking about today?
This was another requested one.
Yes. This is another requested video.
Shout out to Gabby.
Yes. Our bestie, Gabby.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about postpartum.
Yes. Postpartum. Very, very, very intense.
For those of you that have experienced it, we
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
and like she did, and all
Yeah.
that. So it's...
I'm sure we all know someone
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
had postpartum or is in that postpartum stage.
Yeah.
We're not talking about postpartum depression. We're just talking about postpartum in general.
in general. This is
Yeah.
going to be like a general overview of everything that is.
So we definitely know
postpartum.
people that are postpartum.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about like things that you experience in it, all sorts of things. So
Yeah.
let's go into it. What is it, Doc?
All right. So postpartum, quote unquote, okay, refers to the period following childbirth. It's described in events, conditions, and timeframes that occur or are used after a woman has given birth. So, for example, postpartum care is the medical care a mother receives after delivering her baby. And postpartum depression is a type of mood disorder that can affect women after they give birth to their baby. Okay. The term can also be described when something happens after childbirth. So, an infection occurring 3 weeks postpartum. Okay. The postpartum period is a critical time for both the mother. Sorry, guys, we're getting thumbs up here. We've got 3 today.
I know.
The computer is very happy today.
I know. She's very happy with us today.
Yeah.
For you guys that are only on audio,
Yeah.
it's like the little Mac thing that we cannot figure it out. I Googled
Yeah.
it, and apparently if you put your thumb up or you do some sort of gesture like I'm doing right now with my thumbs up, it should come up.
Yeah. It never does for us.
It doesn't when we
Yeah.
want it to. Now, randomly, as she's talking right now,
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I don't know where.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can't figure it out.
But anyways,
Here we are.
okay, so the postpartum period is a critical time for both the mother and the newborn, with health monitoring and support being essential.
Essential.
Okay. A lot of shit happens postpartum.
God, Jesus, yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you're in it, the tiniest problem is the biggest problem in the world.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, lack
Oh
of
my God.
sleep, like everything, and you're just
hormones.
hormones.
It's
a
so
lot, it's a lot,
much.
it's a lot, it's a
So
lot,
much.
it's a lot.
But we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, how long does postpartum last? So, the postpartum period, often referred to as the 4th trimester, which is accurate.
Yeah.
That's an accurate
Yeah, for
nickname
sure.
for it. Typically lasts for about 6 to 8 weeks after childbirth. This is the time it generally takes for a woman's body to recover and to return to a non-pregnant state. However, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists extends this definition to up to 12 weeks post-birth, recognizing that recovery can vary and may not be linear. That is absolutely valid. It's just...
and
there's-
also I'm very surprised that they just say 12 weeks after birth. It
should be more.
There are some OBs that tell me, listen, it's like truly like 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
like you don't fully
wholeheartedly
recover until like 2 years later. And to be honest, now that Nora's 2.5, I can probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Like it took me a very long time.
For me, yeah, I want to say, definitely. I feel like 1 year is certain. Like, at least for me, it's certain. And it's different for everyone. It's just the fact that they're trying to cookie cutter is really annoying.
Yeah.
So some sources suggest that postpartum period can be considered for as long as 12 months, like I just said, after birth, due to the ongoing physical and emotional changes a mother may experience. It's important to note that every woman's experience is unique and recovery may differ from one individual to another. Regular checkups with healthcare providers are essential during this period to ensure a healthy recovery. Do not miss those appointments, guys.
Yeah.
So important.
I also feel like those appointments are not enough.
No, because it's just like one.
I
right?
monitor postpartum more than I think an OB can, not because the OB is not doing it. It's just that the mom is not going to her appointments.
Yeah, time.
So of course they'll come to the pediatric appointments.
yeah.
Obviously the kid.
Yeah.
Or the baby. So I'm constantly, how are you feeling? Are you this? Are you that? I don't know how many times I've had moms 2 weeks later be like, hey, I know that you're not my doctor, but what do I do about, is this normal? And this, and I'm over here like, no, probably not. Like, you need to see your doctor. And then they give me this face like it's a lot for them.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. I was there too.
Absolutely.
Knock on wood. I'm so happy I never suffered any complications after I delivered. But I can see how new baby, new everything, breastfeeding, all these things, then you have some sort of complication. It's a lot. Did you have any complications?
Like postpartum?
Yeah.
No. Thankfully, no.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
So
no. But
I've had women have appendicitis, postpartum, cardiovascular, like heart attacks, postpartum, strokes, postpartum, complications with their epidurals.
that one's, I've heard of that one a lot.
Yeah. I had a spinal headache after, which was the worst headache of my life. And I remember having anxiety because I thought I would never be able to be a good mom because of how bad the
How long
headaches
did it
were.
last?
Like a good week. Yeah.
Oh my God. And you think it was because of the epidural? Well,
Yeah, no, it was definitely the epidural. It was like, gets better when you're laying down, gets worse if you're like leaning forward, intense headache.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh,
It was terrible.
that's awful.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, so some common postpartum symptoms that new mothers may experience. So vaginal bleeding, okay? So this is the body's way of getting rid of the excess blood and tissue and mucus that's lined in the uterus during your whole entire pregnancy. So it's 9 months, okay? So it's shedding all of that. And then it starts heavy and then bright red and then kind of tapers off, changing colors for a few weeks, okay?
Yeah.
And then just a couple days, okay?
Again,
So-
like she said, it's 9 months
Yeah.
of stuff rearranging itself,
Yeah.
coming out.
God.
You know, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I was so annoyed. And this doesn't exclude C-sections.
Right.
C-sections also bleed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you still
not the
gotta get
actual incision, but you still like have vaginal bleeding.
Yeah, you still have to get rid of it in some way somehow. So
Yeah. So you also have breast changes. This was for me like the most. I was like, what the hell is this?
yeah, same.
So engorgement, soreness, possible leaking as a milk production begins. I lived like, what is this?
I know.
What is going on
I
with
was
my
just
body?
like, this is my life now.
Yeah,
Breastfeeding.
Yeah.
This is my life now.
I know.
I felt like a cow.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Really?
a lot of women feel like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's so much.
But you know, I try to think positive, and I'm like, it's a blessing to be able to do it.
100%. But it's just
However, I will say, when you are sleeping and you wake up in a puddle in your bed, and it's because all
Or
the crap you
engorged.
leaked, or all the knots and stuff that you have, the clogged ducts. It's awful.
I remember like,
Mastitis, which we'll probably talk about soon.
I don't know. And then the engorgement that they were just rock hard.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
so painful.
Yeah. I know.
Oh my God. So those moments are the moments that it's just, I feel like a cow.
No, those are the moments that I want to kill someone.
Yeah.
It's like, no one talk to me.
Yeah. You're tired. The last thing you want to do is freaking express yourself. Ugh.
No, not only
So
that,
annoying.
but you spend the time pumping and then you spill just a little bit, and I
That's
want to
where-
set the world on fire.
Exactly. That is liquid gold. Okay.
Don't cry over spilled milk. That's where it comes from.
That I was literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's where it came from. Not from your fucking gallon of milk in the refrigerator. No, it came
that's
from
where-
breast milk.
Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Because Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so other things, perineal discomfort, especially if there's a tear or an episiotomy during birth. For those of you that don't know, because there's a lot of people that they're like, excuse me, like they don't know.
Mostly men.
Yeah, mostly men. An episiotomy is when the doctor legit cuts, okay, like that exterior anatomy to help the baby fit through the vagina to come out.
Yeah. So the gooch area. So the
I forgot that word.
so the little like area that's between your butt and your vagina.
Yeah.
You know,
That is
skin.
sliced.
Yeah, that's the perineum, and then it's cut like vertically to allow more room
Space.
for the baby to come out.
Yeah.
Did you have an episiotomy?
Oh, thank God.
I did. It naturally happened.
Oh, okay. So you tore.
Yeah, I tore.
Oh my God.
I naturally tore, not too much, according to her.
Yeah.
And then
I think
she
every
stitched
woman
it
has
up.
some sort of tearing.
Yeah, and she stitched it up right away.
I had tears. I
Yeah?
had to get stitched. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just didn't have an episiotomy. Like they
No,
didn't,
no,
they
no.
didn't do it.
No,
but
it was a natural tear.
Yeah.
And
not that everyone needs to know that I have a tear, but
oh, fuck it. I mean, we're talking about postpartum. Like, here we are. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot more common than what people think.
That's the thing. Look, two of us.
Yeah.
The both of us, and it's a natural thing, and they handle it right then and there.
Basically, like
and
if you had a laceration, if you fell and lacerated your arm.
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know.
So mood swings and emotional changes. I absolutely 100% had this.
Oh my God. Of
You-
course, dude. Of
Yeah.
course. How
Yeah.
are you not?
I cried
think
every
you're
single
not.
moment.
Yeah.
I cried every single moment.
I went through all emotions.
Yeah.
like,
Nora had
all-
her tongue clipped,
Oh,
her tongue tie clipped, and I was already on the fence about it, but I wanted to breastfeed so bad,
Yeah.
and it was so painful, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I will never do that again. I bawled. I bawled.
thankfully, I didn't have to go through that, but like I did go through a lot of feeding challenges with my kiddo. Not that anything was wrong with him or me. It was just was always a very finicky baby.
Yeah.
To just
To
drink.
even eat, yeah.
He wanted to breastfeed like as often as possible.
Yeah.
So he wasn't the type of baby that would have one very good long feeding session of I don't know how many ounces of milk. No, he wanted to do like little ounces here, little ounces there, which again, all things are different. All babies are different. All moms are different. And he just wanted to drink like that, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to just like be breastfeeding my whole entire like time.
Yeah.
But so we went through that, and that was well, you saw it all the times that you would come over, and I'm just like,
I know.
it's not enough.
I know, Julie. Poor Jules. And Jules, you were on a strict feeding schedule.
Yeah, because I was determined to make
Like
sure that-
neurotic feeding schedule.
because I was like, he's not drinking enough milk. He was healthy. He was meeting all the milestones, all the weight, like everything. Every time I would take him to the doctor and complain about the feeding, they're just like, but there's nothing. Like, I mean, his weight is fine.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but it's only like 2 ounces, you know? And they're like, yeah, he's just the type of baby that wants to eat all the time. And I'm like,
And Jules, poor Julie. You were so stressed.
so stressed. So stressed. It's probably why I just have one child.
Yeah.
Probably. That first
So,
year.
apart from the mood swings, the typical baby blues, that is like a little bit of like a mild postpartum depression, but usually goes away after 2 weeks. I think that's just, the intense hormone fluctuations right after.
It's intense, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, so fatigue. So because of the demands of caring for the newborn, lack of sleep, all that stuff,
course.
you are fatigued. I
just
cannot,
birthed a whole human.
I cannot describe how many times I'm talking to the parents and they're like just looking at me and not there.
No.
Yeah. And I look at them and I know this look, right? I know it. And do you need me to repeat that? And they take out their phone and they start writing things and they start taking pictures of things because they cannot.
I get it.
They can't.
I get it. And it's like, I can't even feel bad about that. I mean, not feel bad. I can't even judge them for it because I've been there.
Yeah.
When you're that tired, you haven't slept for days.
Yeah. And then they come back at their 1 month or 2 month appointment and they're like brand new people, the mom and the dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
They were able to recover at least a little bit. Yeah.
All right, so this I didn't suffer from, the sweating and the urination. The body sheds excess fluids not needed post-pregnancy. So this is actually very common.
Really?
Yes. So
I didn't
they
suffer
have
from that
chills
either.
and crazy sweats.
Oh, no, I didn't have that.
I did not have that, but it's very, very common. But apparently, like change your sheets type of sweating.
Okay. I
Yeah.
had that while I was pregnant, not postpartum.
Postpartum. Yeah.
Like, it was an igloo in our apartment. We lived in that
Yeah,
apartment
yeah.
before. And Mario, that's a polar bear.
Yeah.
He was wearing jackets the whole time inside.
God.
And I was like, just with a big t-shirt on. And I'm like, it's hot. And it's like 60 degrees inside. He's like, this is not right.
Not normal.
This is not normal. I'm like, blame the parasite
Yeah.
inside of me.
Seriously. So swelling, I also did not have this. Every time I think about this, I think of Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah.
That famous photo with the heels.
how
It's just like her
ridiculous.
skin is like overlapping.
It's like, woman, why?
Yeah.
Why?
But so
I had
women
very-
get a lot of swelling in their ankles and in their legs.
I had very minimal of it.
I did not. Thank
Like,
God.
very minimal. I did, but very minimal. But, well, yeah, exactly. We're talking about postpartum. I had it more in postpartum. There's what we said with Kim Kardashian. She had it while she was pregnant. For me, it was mostly postpartum, but like very minimal. I
didn't
think
even
it
have it
was while I
postpartum,
was
thank
still in
God.
the hospital, like type of thing.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really had any swelling.
Never
thankfully.
like that though.
But I think it's because I exercised regularly, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Or it's because I was a resident and I was constantly
Yeah.
on the move.
Yeah, that's true too.
Constantly on the move. Okay, so it's important to monitor these symptoms as they should gradually improve. However, symptoms like heavy bleeding, severe pain, or persistent sadness, it's really important to seek medical attention because it can indicate more serious conditions. So the excessive bleeding, this is a hemorrhage. This is postpartum hemorrhaging, okay? This is normal immediately after birth, but should slow over time. If you have heavy bleeding that's persisting, it could be a hemorrhage, okay? So something that you need to talk to your doctor about. Childbirth can result in open wounds, which can become infected, okay?
Yeah.
So this is like a water birth, right? So I'm just going to talk about a water birth. There's many reasons why I don't agree with water births, but one of the reasons is
I think the majority of like physicians wouldn't agree with it.
I mean, you'd be surprised, but it's not the idea.
Right, yeah, the
of
idea
the water birth. It
makes
is
a lot
the
of sense.
actual whole entire commotion of a water birth. And I know that there's going to be people out there that are like, I had a water birth and
Oh, yeah,
it was
that's-
fantastic. And it was
that's
the most
great.
amazing experience. That's fantastic.
Great.
But to me,
Yeah.
sitting in water, okay, is just bacteria. It's just like an open access. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it.
No, me neither. I rather do it like the old timey
Yeah.
women, just squat and push.
Yeah.
Rather than doing it in a pool of everything that comes out of
Ugh.
you. That is so
Gross.
disgusting. I, as it is, don't like baths.
Yeah.
I don't take baths. I only shower because I think about me just
Sitting there.
sitting there in my own filth. That's how I consider baths. And I know it's a controversial thing. There's people that are obsessed with baths. They love baths and all that. Not my thing for that same reason. Like,
Yeah.
I rather just shower it off. It's off of me. Maybe I'll do the bath after a shower. How about that? Like,
Maybe.
I could do that. But just sweaty and then just sit in. Then I could imagine that as birthing. Oh, heck no.
Yeah. Lots of fluids going on in there.
No.
Lots of fluids.
I'd rather just squat it.
Yeah.
Than like,
And like a lot of babies, like they poop, like during
the
delivery.
mom poops during
yeah,
delivery.
Yeah. What did? Yes, exactly.
Forget the baby.
Yeah. You know what? I can't. No water.
Forget
births.
the baby.
No water births for me.
Most women poop as
Yeah.
they are pushing the baby out,
Yes,
and they
yes,
don't
yes.
even
That
realize
was
it.
actually one of my biggest fears.
And they don't even realize it. Enema or no enema.
Yeah.
It happens. Like,
I
you
know.
know, so, oh God, no. Oh God.
All right. So high blood pressure disorders. This is like kind of what we were talking about with the swelling and stuff like that, or at least that's what we worry about in medicine. So these high blood pressure can occur during pregnancy and require monitoring after childbirth. So a lot of moms are worried about preeclampsia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what they don't know is that preeclampsia can happen after you deliver. So they don't really know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yes. So preeclampsia
Okay.
can also happen after delivery. So I have a ton of moms that have to go back to the hospital
Damn.
to get on medications and blood pressure control because they had preeclampsia after they gave birth.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So we kind of talked about the mood disorders already, postpartum depression. It is a serious condition. It's very common, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of women don't even know that they have
Yeah.
postpartum depression.
Yeah. They don't identify it as that, or I mean, there's just so much going on. You're so tired, you're so busy that sometimes you forget about checking in on yourself.
Yep.
And then you're like, maybe you see the doctor, or maybe somebody brings it up, and it's maybe you're going through that.
Yeah.
And if you are, seek help. It's common. It's very common and
Very
very
common.
very normal. You're not alone on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Normal Norman.
normal.
So breast pain, this can be due for a lot of reasons, including
Yeah.
mastitis, infections of the breast
Awful.
tissue. This is absolutely terrible.
Ugh.
I hated that. It's incredibly painful.
It really is.
So
It's like the wind
yeah.
just hurts.
yeah,
Like a t-shirt
just hurts. Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah. And then cardiomyopathy. So this was probably the scariest thing for me, is that how you can develop heart disease after birth.
Yeah.
And
And it makes sense how that could happen,
yeah, so basically you're pumping a lot of blood, right? Your body increases that.
Yep.
So then your heart is working harder. And then that was like my biggest fear. I was always afraid of developing like some cardiac thing, but I think it's because I was traumatized because I had a patient.
Yeah, because you're a doctor.
Yeah,
That's why.
I had a
Like,
patient one time
yeah.
that she ended up having arrhythmias, and she had to constantly have a life vest on because she could at any point just develop an arrhythmia, like going to VFib and die.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not that I'm trying to scare anyone that's pregnant right now. I'm
Yeah,
so
don't.
sorry.
Yeah, that's not
Maybe
what
if
we're
you're
trying to
pregnant,
do.
you should be listening to this.
I know, right?
Oh my God.
Listen to this after.
Maybe we should give like a little warning. Hey,
Yeah.
trigger warning for all those that are pregnant out there.
Stop.
Stop listening right now.
Yeah, come back later.
Yeah.
After you've given birth.
Yeah. So a PE, a pulmonary embolism, that's a big one too. Basically a clot that can go to the lungs. And then an amniotic fluid embolism. This one is rare, but super serious. Can be fatal. Basically, the amniotic fluid creates like a clot, and then it enters your bloodstream and then causes you to have
I
embolism.
hadn't even heard of that one until I was pregnant. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Yeah.
All right, so it's important for new mother. Okay, and let me just say this. Yes, these are complications. They can happen. They are common. I see it all the time. But most of the time, you will have a safe delivery without any complications.
Yep.
Okay, so don't get scared. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I'm sure all these parents are like Googling everything. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
all right.
So the postpartum period involves significant hormonal fluctuations, as we've kind of touched upon, that can affect a new mother's physical and emotional state. And so here's a brief overview of all those hormonal changes that are happening during this postpartum time. So estrogen and progesterone. These hormones, which are at high levels during pregnancy, decrease sharply after the delivery of the baby and the placenta. Oxytocin, the hormone, check out our episode on dopamine and oxytocin. So this hormone surges immediately after birth, promoting a strong parenting instinct and contributing to the contraction of the uterus to its pre-pregnancy size. Prolactin, levels of this hormone rise to stimulate the milk production for breastfeeding. If not nursing, prolactin will return to pre-pregnancy levels within a few weeks. Endorphins, these are natural painkillers that peak during labor and can contribute to the euphoric feelings some mothers experience immediately after childbirth. Did you experience that?
Yeah,
Me too.
I remember feeling like,
It's just like,
wow. I was just very, very, very happy.
yeah, exactly.
Very, very happy.
Yeah, and it's a perfect word for it, like euphoric,
Yeah.
because it's all those things. And isn't it mind blowing? Like, whole ass human that you birthed is now in front of you in
know.
person. You're like, that was inside of me.
I remember hugging Nora, and I
Yeah.
was like, this is overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's so many things that cross my
But like
mind.
in a good way, like the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
amazing, overwhelming feeling.
Exactly. And it was just like, I made this.
Yeah.
This was inside of me until like literally a minute ago.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's euphoria. So these hormonal changes can lead to a range of emotions and physical sensations, from the intense bonding feelings associated with oxytocin to the potential for mood swings and postpartum depression due to rapid decrease in estrogen and progesterone. It's important for new mothers to be aware of these changes and seek support if you're struggling during the postpartum period. Very important, guys. I know that we're all dealing with a lot and probably putting ourselves dead last, but in order, you can't, I really like that saying of like, you can't give from an empty cup.
Yeah.
So just a little check-in.
Yeah.
A little check-in.
Yeah.
Like, how are you doing? Go ahead.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about postpartum depression.
Because it is common and it is important. And
So it's a complex. I like the word complex because it's just not straightforward.
it's different for everyone.
Yeah. So it's a complex mood disorder that can affect individuals after childbirth. It ranges from emotional, behavioral, cognitive changes. Its symptoms can vary from intensity to mild to severe. So some key points about postpartum depression is the symptoms. Usually sadness, anxiety, irritability. You can't sleep. You changing your eating patterns too. Fatigue. You feel guilty. That mom guilt is out of control.
Out of control.
Yeah. Difficulty bonding with the baby. And in severe cases, thoughts of harming yourself or the baby. Okay.
Yeah.
What causes it? So the exact cause is not fully understood, but we believe that it's a combination of hormones, environmental, emotional, and genetic factors. So a drop in hormone levels after delivery, lack of support, sleep deprivation, it's all like a recipe for all of this to happen. The treatment for it, usually it's a combination of counseling and medication. So you should always do counseling, okay?
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that should be the first thing. And unfortunately, in this world that we live in, we lack the support for counseling.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can take antidepressants and psychotherapy together. Those seem to be the best outcome. And that medication, antidepressant, it's such, I wish we had a different name for that class of medication because it's such like a social stigma behind it.
That's true.
And there's a lot of shame behind it. And I think in the world that we live in right now, it's actually very different. People are very out.
It's changed.
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
So just don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because depression can come with a lot of shame and anxiety and
Yep.
all of that stuff. So, but just remember that you are not the only person and you can truly approach your provider and they will give you the help that you need.
Yeah.
I hope. Or at least
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So prevention of postpartum depression. This is what we like to focus on. Okay. And even when I'm seeing the newborns at the hospital, I'm like constantly telling the moms about this.
Well, I remember when I gave birth, there was like a specific.
There's a social worker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She comes in, asks you questions and all that stuff. And then.
Exactly. So measures can include depression screening. Okay. During and after pregnancy. So for us, like in peds, we screen at 2, 4, 6 months for that postpartum depression. It's like a questionnaire that we do. It's probably the easiest way, and you'd be surprised how many people it's easier for them to circle that they are, having these issues than to actually verbalize it.
Right. Yeah. That's smart that pediatricians are the ones to screen for that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, most parents go for their kids like 2, 4, 6.
Yeah. So that's why I was actually encouraged in peds because there was a study showing that it was way higher of a percentage of moms following up, like sticking to their well child checks for their kids than to actually following up for their own doctors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. But anyways, you can also seek support to manage newborn care, maintain a healthy routine. That is very hard. But these are things that I constantly tell parents, like, go out for a walk, go out together. It's a change for everyone.
Yep.
Have patience with yourself.
Yes.
That's like a big thing. And just talk to someone.
Yeah.
Talk to someone. Don't get down like in a rut and just whenever you feel like everything is overwhelming, I always say 20 minutes of sleep can make a huge difference.
Yep. And routine for me.
Yeah.
I clinged on routine to keep me sane. It really did, mostly with his feeding of like constantly wanting to feed. If I didn't have that routine, I was just like lost on the day, and then I would schedule myself, to take them out for walks and this and that. It gets you out of that headspace. Sometimes
Yeah.
you just need to like get out for a
Of that
little bit
headspace.
to get out of that environment of that headspace. That's just because then it feels like it's overwhelming, like you're in this smoky fog type of situation.
Yeah.
So just step out of all of that, even if it's with the baby, step out for a minute and it just calms it down a little bit.
I just have a visual of myself like postpartum.
Yeah.
And it was like Nora on the boob,
Yeah.
Haka, that suction
Oh,
thing
yes.
on the other boob,
God, I know that thing.
in those massive underwear because of the feedings,
Yes. Pajamas.
pajama top. Okay,
Yep.
like it was like a robe actually.
Yeah.
but the robe was open. I don't know why I
Yeah.
wore the robe. Okay, I was constantly exhibitionist. Okay, and my hair up in a
Oh, yeah.
massive bun.
Yeah.
And then people would come visit, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I look like.
Yeah. This is it.
This is it." And it would frustrate me so much when someone would come and I'd have to cover up
Yeah, I know.
and just try to look all put together. It was terrible.
God, I agree.
Evie was not cute at that moment.
I don't think most of us are cute.
No, at all. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
Leave him alone.
I
For the
know.
love of God. Okay, so it's important for anyone experiencing these type of symptoms to go and talk to your doctor, get, diagnosed, get your treatment going. And early intervention can help manage a lot of these symptoms and improve your well-being for you and the baby. Okay?
Super important, guys.
Because I always say, if you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot take care of the baby.
Nope.
So, right.
So how common is postpartum depression now that we were talking about it? So the CDC reports that about 1 in 8 women in 2018 experienced symptoms of postpartum depression. That's a lot. Other studies suggest that the prevalence might be as high as 1 in 7 women. And it's estimated that nearly 50% of mothers with postpartum depression do not get diagnosed by a healthcare professional, indicating that the actual numbers might actually be higher. So that's concerning. And can men experience postpartum depression? Yes, they can.
Yeah.
So men can experience postpartum depression. It's a condition that is increasingly recognized and can affect fathers following the birth of a child. Symptoms can include the ones that Evie had mentioned earlier: sadness, anxiety, emptiness, changes in sleeping or eating patterns. Factors such as hormonal changes, stress from the new responsibility, changes in the relationship dynamic, and a history of depression can contribute to its development. It's important for new fathers to seek support and treatment if they experience symptoms of depression during this time. Yes. Men, look out for yourselves as well.
Yeah. So how long?
And not even men, like partners.
Yeah.
Whoever it is,
Whoever it
just
is.
because you weren't the one to physically give
Yeah.
birth doesn't mean that you're not going to experience postpartum.
Yeah.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
Definitely can. So
100%.
yeah, keep an eye out for yourself as well.
Yeah. So how long does it last? So the duration, it can vary significantly from one person to another, but these are some general insights. So typical duration of postpartum depression begins within the first few weeks after childbirth, but can appear at any time within the first year. Okay. So for many, symptoms improve over time, with a significant number of cases resolving within 3 to 6 months after they begin. Potential for longer duration without treatment, PPD can last for several months, even longer. It's crucial to seek help early, like I had mentioned, the early intervention, to get a quicker recovery. And then the baby blues versus postpartum depression, it's important to differentiate between baby blues, which is just a very mild, within the first 2 weeks, you're like kind of tearful and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then postpartum depression, which has more severe symptoms and can last a lot longer. If you know someone that's suffering from this, or if you're suffering from this, it's important to go and talk to someone so that we can get you that early intervention that you need.
Yes. And then parent to infant bonding and relationships during the postpartum period. It's huge. This is when it really, really takes off. So parent-infant bonding during the postpartum period is a unique and crucial process that lays the foundation for a child's future emotional and social development. This bond is the deep attachment that a parent feels towards their baby, driving them to meet the child's needs and ensuring the child feels secure and loved. Bonding can happen in various ways and at different times for each parent. It might be immediate for some, while for others, it may develop gradually over time through daily activities like feeding, cuddling, soothing. It's important to note that it's normal if the bond doesn't form right away. Factors such as difficult delivery, health issues with the newborn, or postpartum depression can affect the bonding process. The bond strengthens as parents respond to their baby's needs, which helps the infant develop trust and confidence. This ongoing interaction is essential for the baby's emotional growth and affects the future relationships. If parents are concerned about their bonding with their infant, they should not hesitate to seek support. Healthcare providers can offer guidance and resources to help foster and strengthen this vital connection. Absolutely. And that's the thing, like some people, and again, you're dealing with, quote unquote mom guilt, and it's not uncommon to see that you don't immediately bond with the baby because there's so much going on. So then the mom guilt sets in and you're like, why am I not feeling this bond?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's normal.
It's just like a vicious cycle.
Exactly.
And then you're crying.
So you're just like,
and you're like, oh, I'm such a bad mom. And then my mom is like screaming at me, Ketuala, you're crazy. And then I'm like, I'm not crazy. And then I really am crazy.
Dude, been there. Yeah. I think most of us have been there in some way, somehow.
The breastfeeding. The other day I had one of the people that I work with tell me that when she first gave birth, she was 22 and her mom really wanted her to breastfeed. And she was like, I was such a brat. Yeah. She was like, no, it hurts. Like, leave me alone. I want to sleep. And then the mom was like, you don't love him. You don't love him.
Jesus Christ. Lord.
I think the grandma also goes through like postpartum.
Of course. Exactly. Oh my God.
So I looked up this really funny little like article on funny stuff on postpartum. Okay. And honestly, it's so crazy like how to relate. Yeah. How people can relate to this. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes I go hours without drinking coffee. It's called sleeping.
Yeah. Agreed.
All these moms are on Pinterest making rainbow cupcakes, homemade Play-Doh, and I'm all like, I took a shower today and I kept my kids alive.
Seriously, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
These are for my parents with twins. Twins are such a blessing. Blessings that I like to team up against you and make you have a mental breakdown.
I told Mario, if we had twins, I wouldn't be crying from like joy in that ultrasound. I'd be crying because I'm fucked. Like...
And then, there's this little like toy store. It's like mom with friends versus moms at home. And it's like Toy Story Rex versus an actual like Jurassic Park T-Rex.
Accurate.
Super accurate.
Accurate. There was another one of that same meme. That's the Toy Story Rex and then the T-Rex at the bottom. But instead it was, what was it? Oh, the top one. So Rex, my mom, so grandmother, with my child, and then the bottom one was my mother with me.
With me, yeah, exactly.
Raising me. And I'm like, that is so true.
No, I know. Look at this one. Apparently, it doesn't matter if you breastfeed or bottle feed or both. Either way, your kid's still going to turn into a teenager.
So true. So true. And regardless of what you do, the child is going to eat a happy meal.
Now that you talked about eating, the next one was about dinner. Chicken, something with some other stuff on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Amar's latest thing. He only wants chicken and beef only in the form of a hamburger now. Oh, it's so
what
annoying.
About the diaper changes? As soon as you change a diaper, the baby's gonna shit.
100%. 100%. And if you have a boy like mine, you have to be careful when opening. If not, it's gonna go straight into the face.
Yeah, no, thank God I didn't. Well, Nora just had like projectile poops.
Oh yeah,
3:00 in the morning.
Oh man,
I'm done breastfeeding. I'm literally changing her to go to sleep, and it was just like projectile poop just on my arm and everything. And I was just, I remember just being there, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Oh no. One time it happened in the middle of the night that I woke up and he was just, it was one of the what do you call those? Not projectile poop, but blowouts.
Yeah,
it was a blowout. And that blowout was such a bad blowout. It was in the middle of the night to 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I don't know, when you're in deepest freaking sleep for once. And I'm just like, I was not expecting that. And I gagged. And I almost threw up. So there's just shit everywhere. And then almost vomit everywhere too. It was...
Okay, this is the last one that I'm going to say because this one had me cracking up. It's like a dear baby. Dear baby, sorry for all the times I dropped crumbs on you while I was nursing.
Accurate.
Too.
Accurate. For me, it was the breastfeeding cookies.
Yeah.
God, those tasted good, but made me.
Oh my God, I dropped so much Dora.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I'm pretty sure I dropped the bottle on her one time.
God, I mean, it's gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
crumbs for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So that was our postpartum.
Yeah. So hope this doesn't scare you all if you haven't had kids yet.
Honestly, it's beautiful though.
It is.
At least for me, it was.
I know it's just the good comes with the bad.
Yeah.
There's things, whatever.
You have
but
good days and you have bad days.
100%. It's part of parenting.
Yep.
It literally is part of parenting. So yeah, keep on liking, subscribe, check us out on all forms of social media. We are everywhere. And if you haven't checked us out on Patreon, please do.
Yes.
Because you would get double the episodes, double the fun.
Woo! Yeah.
So, and that's patreon.com/funny medicine podcast. You would be greatly helping us out, keeping up with all of this, getting better equipment, etc., etc. So, and for those of you that are already patrons, thank you. You guys are the MVPs out there right now. But anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Like, comment, review us on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc.
Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Funny Medicine Podcast. Our Gmail is funnymedicine305@gmail.com. And remember, we are not diagnosing you.
Definitely not, just funny stuff.
See you later, guys.